Hello, it's Scott Bassett of the Understanding Narcissist YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to talk about... What am I talking about? Oh, narcissists are momentary and not holistic or comprehensive. Holistic or comprehensive, whatever. So narcissists are momentary, not comprehensive. What does that mean? Well, it's got several different meanings. The simplest of which I would say is that narcissists, like drug addicts, like an addiction, have to get their fix. They have to get what they need to feel okay in that moment, whatever sets them off. And they'll do anything within some bounds to achieve that by abusing you, of course. So how does that work? Momentary doesn't mean that they don't take anything else into consideration. It doesn't have to be a rabid frenzy in which you reflect their illusion, fantasy, whatever, back to them to comfort them, to make them feel secure and powerful so they can reaffirm themselves in their control, from their insecurity, to help fix their insecurity, whatever set it off. But it's also that within that moment, they want that moment to remain a microcosm. Narcissists don't attach anything they do now to what they've done in the past. There are no patterns. There is no history. They want you to look back over time and kind of connect the dots as to what's wrong with them. So if you look at throughout their entire lives, that's one of the reasons why they keep everybody isolated. They don't express. They don't tell you really intimate details about how they felt. There's emotional processing issues, but it's also that it presents a pattern they don't want anybody else to see, even if they aren't totally aware of it themselves. Maybe it's just a reflexive thing that gets triggered, and so they keep themselves guarded and concealed for all those kinds of reasons. You'll notice that narcissists, just as a side note, everything has to do with control and the illusion. There's nothing really that kind of segs off of that. Everything is based on that moment when they're trying to get whatever they want out of you, and it has nothing to do with anything else. It's microcosmic is how I like to think of it. And so you're in that moment, and the last thing they want you to do is try to bring up a former moment or a time in the past where they did the exact same thing. They don't want you to point out to behaviors, things they've done before that relate to what they're doing now, that reveals something wrong with them. What they want you to do is keep you laser focused on whatever it is they're complaining about and whatever you have to do to fix it so they can get their fix. And they don't want to hear or see anything else about what this has come up before. How come you're always like this? What is what's the pattern here? They don't want there to be a pattern, because if there's a pattern, that means that there's something separate from you or the circumstances, something different from you or the circumstances that's causing the problem, which means naturally it has to be them, because they're the only thing that keeps it. They're driving it all, but they don't want you to be able to bring up that they're driving it all. Not in the setting that you're going to understand, that they can't deny it. You see, they create an environment where emotions can't be expressed and everything's tight-knit as far as what people can say and do. That's okay. And the environment is engineered so that it supports their fantasy. Now there's openings that's why they're so careful with their logic and how they get everything rolling to abuse you, to set up the environment, is that they have to be very careful, because there's always vulnerabilities where you can bring up something legitimate that they have to deal with that is harmful to their self-image, to their illusion, and how things are supposed to work out, who they are, being the perfect, all the stuff I talked about in previous videos. And if that is breached, then there needs to be some kind of fail-safe that they can then use to bail out of the situation. There can't be anything to hold them down and predict what they're going to do in that situation. They can't be cornered. They don't want to be restricted. They don't want to be confined. They don't want to be where you can predict where they're going to move. Where you can track where they're going with something. They need to remain unpredictable and basically not controlled by you. There's the controlled and there's the controllers, and they are the controller. So I think that's sufficient for this video. I kind of went around a bit to get to the point, but as the ideas get more advanced, I'm trying to find a better way to organize it, because it gets more complex, and then I'm kind of like, well, how do I explain this in the setting that I'm trying to explain it so that it makes sense, but it isn't inaccurate. So thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share it with somebody you think might benefit from it, and thank you and have a great day. Bye.